Meanwhile, the compliance across parts of the country was greeted with mixed reactions. In Edo State, for instance, and talking about day one now, members of the Benin branch of the Nigerian Bar Association obeyed the directive to boycott the court. But the case is different, or was different, in Jigawa and Lagos as lawyers went about their businesses undisturbed. Well, our correspondent Victoria Ido has more.
This is the general belief of most of the lawyers at the Ikeja High Court today.
Legal activities at the Ikeja High Court was not in any way hampered by the directive of the National Nigerian Bar Association, directing that lawyers should boycott the courts for 2 days. Lawyers believe that because they are being paid by their clients, they should go about their legal duties.
Okay, is your own court sitting? Is she still sitting?
The compliance team of the Ikeja branch of the NBA go from court to court to enforce obedience.
We have found out that some judges are sitting, and we are going from court to court to ensure that the judges assist in this particular struggle.
But they are met with stiff resistance. In their usual fashion, lawyers engage in argument as to the legality of the action of the compliance officer.
You are not with the masses, you are alone. You are not with the masses, you are alone.
They say their anger stemmed from the fact that their loyalty is to their client, not to the NBA.
Private business. What are you doing for us? What's the NBA doing for anybody? We pay you. We pay you.
The situation is not different in Jigawa State as lawyers turn out at the court, not minding the directive of the national body. The chairman of the association in Jigawa State explains that they are yet to receive any formal instruction from the national body.
Even if we received an instruction from the national body, we have to sit down at the branch level and then deliberate on it, then take stand on it.
In Cross River State, south Nigeria, the story is different, as lawyers did not only obey the directive, but also defied the morning rain to demonstrate what they describe as an illegal suspension of the first Cross River State-born Chief Justice of Nigeria, Justice Walter Onoge. In Benin, the Edo State capital, a man tries to open a closed courtroom door, a clear indication that this court is not sitting.
No court, whether it's High Court, Federal High Court, State High Court, Court of Appeal, Magistrate Court, Customary Court, District Customary Court, any court at all, there is a total shutdown of courts. And doing this to protest against the illegal removal of the Chief Justice of Nigeria. As far as we are concerned, he's still our Chief Justice.
Although the compliance level with the NBA direction may not have been total on the first day, it remains to be seen how the boycott order will be enforced on day 2. Victoria Idowu, Channels Television News.
We're still keeping tabs on the boycott directive by the Nigerian Bar Association. Day 2, and that's today. Let's join our correspondent Jessica Olubushere in Benin, the Edo State capital, for the latest. Jessica?
I'm standing in front of the High Court premises, the Edo State High Court on Saple Road in Benin City, the Edo State capital. It's day 2 of the boycott directive given by the National Executive Council of the NBA that lawyers boycott the courts. And today, Wednesday, the 30th of January 2019, it seems the order is even given more serious attention as the lawyers are absent. But I was able to find one lawyer. He's actually a member of the compliance committee to ensure that lawyers stay away from the courts. Abraham Obiawe, Barrister Abraham Obiawe is right here with me now.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Just to say that in total compliance of the directive of the National Executive Council 2 days ago, today is day 2, and I can confidently say that the Benin Bar have ensured that in total compliance with the directive given, that there have been total boycotts of courts in Benin City and its environs.
Well, thanks, Jessica. On top of court activities there in the capital of Benin. But let's switch to River State now regarding the directive, the boycott there. Our correspondent Emmanuel Ere reports from Port Harcourt with the latest. Emmanuel, come see, come sa, are lawyers boycotting?
This is day 2, and I can confirm that there is appreciable compliance as lawyers in River State appear to have stayed away from court in solidarity with many of their colleagues who believe that due process has not been followed or was not followed leading up to the suspension of the Chief Justice of Nigeria. The usual beehive of activities seen in the premises of the State High Court is certainly absent. Only a few can be seen possibly discussing the matter, and they believe that this is a movement to what they say is seeking for a remedy to the threats, to what threatens the judiciary and the nation's democracy, something that they also believe should be nipped in the bud as soon as possible. Emmanuel Ere, Channels Television News.
And thanks, Emmanuel. We'll also be touching base with several of our correspondents across the country with the latest today. But in the meantime, elder statesman and former Commonwealth Secretary General Chief Emeka Anyoko has asked the federal government to reconsider its stance on the call for restructuring of the current governance architecture and return to true federalism. Chief Anyoko also addressed a tripartite issue of INEC and the need for credible 2019 elections, Nigeria's current image among the Committee of Nations, and what he described as a debasement of the sanctity of human lives in the country. He says Nigeria is underperforming and lacking national cohesion as never before.
Friends and the international community as a whole are watching the behavior of the federal government and its agencies, including especially the police, the army, and the other law enforcement instruments, to see how far they respect the country's constitution. Our Nigerian government, like all other governments over the world, while of course guarding its sovereignty, should pay heed to the views of the international community. Otherwise, the country will return to the pariah status which it happily exited in 1999 when it once more embraced democracy. I urge INEC to remain aware of the fact that the credibility of the results of our forthcoming national elections will depend on the level of impartiality and transparency it demonstrates in ensuring that all aspects of the elections are free and fair.
And still to come on Lunchtime Politics, on the NBA directive, we're being joined by the second Vice President of the Nigerian Bar Association. Please join us again.